Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Last night, the New York Knicks defeated the Atlanta Hawks 113-89. But previous to that, they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 92-81. Two very good wins, ladies and gentlemen, over teams that were in the top four in the Eastern Conference. Here's my 5 takeaways from both wins. Number 1, the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, are playing with desperation over the last couple of games. They needed to, because they took a very bad loss to the Dallas Mavericks before they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks were up 7 at half and collapsed in the second half. It was a total disaster. Before then, they played some good games against the Memphis Grizzlies, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Portland Trailblazers, and they could not come up with the win at the end. Then they collapsed versus Dallas, and it felt bad all the way around. Then they came out and played desperate against the Cleveland Cavaliers, held them to 81 points, and then they played desperate against the Atlanta Hawks. This is what the New York Knicks need. They need to play with desperation every time they step on the floor, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2, the 9-man rotation. You can't forget about that. Tom Thibodeau has gone back to a 9-man rotation. He's taken out Derrick Rose. He's taken out Cam Reddish. And he's inserted Deuce McBride. So far, it's worked out. Obviously, it brings a ton of questions. Let me make sure I say that correctly. What happens to Cam Reddish? Does he get traded? I believe so. I think eventually he's going to end up with the Los Angeles Lakers, the best spot for Cam Reddish, in my opinion, for his career. But can the Knicks bring back assets or a player that's good enough to be in the 9-man rotation or a 10-man rotation if that player is that good? Derrick Rose, what happens there? I'm going to tell you what, I like Derrick Rose. Probably my favorite player on the team. But right now, Deuce gives you a little bit more of what you need in that rotation, the defense. Derrick Rose is good enough to play defense. Recently, he hasn't given you much on the offensive side, not what you want from Derrick Rose. He hasn't gotten the minutes either this season. I think he's averaging 13 to 14 minutes per game. Deuce provides what the Knicks need. The Knicks are scoring the ball with Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, kinda, even though he's a little bit wishy-washy with the percentages, Emmanuel Quickly, etc., etc. Derrick Rose, we know he can score it, but the Knicks need defense. Deuce is providing that defense, especially because we struggle defending at the point of attack, that point guard position. And Deuce, while he can't stop everybody, he's not going to shut everybody down because there's some really good point guards in the NBA. He's providing the rugged defense, the on-ball intensity that you need, ladies and gentlemen. And it's the reason why Tom Thibodeau was taking a look at Deuce and that 9-man rotation. Now, Obi Toppin has a sore knee. We'll see how long he's out. But surprisingly, when asked about it last night, Tom Thibodeau did not mention Cam Reddish. Said he likes RJ playing that 4 spot. So we'll see what happens there. But right now, Tom Thibodeau is rocking with a 9-man rotation. Cam Reddish, Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier, they're not in it, ladies and gentlemen. Defense. The Knicks are playing defense, part of the reason why Tom Thibodeau has gone to that 9-man rotation. But defense, ladies and gentlemen, they held the Cleveland Cavaliers to 81 points. They just held last night the Atlanta Hawks to 89 points. It's only been 2 games. But with this 9-man rotation, this is what they've done. We'll see if it continues. I don't expect them to hold teams to under 90 points every single time they step on the floor. But their defense has looked better, right? They're rotating out to those shooters, and that's been a point of emphasis, I know, because these three-point shooters have been lighting the Knicks up. And the Knicks aren't shooting the ball well from three-point range. They did last night, but they haven't been throughout the season. But the defense over the last 2 games, ladies and gentlemen, has been very, very good. And for my next takeaway, ladies and gentlemen, rebounding. The Knicks have been on the glass lately. The Cleveland Cavaliers, 39 rebounds. The Knicks over 50. The Atlanta Hawks, 39 rebounds. The Knicks over 50. I think it was 39 rebounds last night for the Atlanta Hawks. The Knicks have dominated the glass, at least in these past 2 games. You got to end your defense with a rebound. That's how you take advantage of causing a team to miss a shot. But they've also done it on the offensive glass, and you got to give that up to Mitchell Robinson. While versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, Mitch had more defensive rebounds than offensive rebounds. He had double-digit rebounds, right? 11 rebounds versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Against the Atlanta Hawks, Mitchell Robinson, 11 rebounds again, but he was killing it on the offensive glass. And it provided the Knicks with the opportunity to build upon their lead. When they would miss a shot, he'd get the rebound, get it back, we can score again. I think 20-second chance points last night versus the Atlanta Hawks. Those offensive rebounds have been enormous for the New York Knicks. And I think Mitchell Robinson is proving Tom Thibodeau right, that he's the best offensive rebounder in the league. The Knicks need him to continue to grab these offensive rebounds. And then Julius Randle last night, 17 rebounds. He had 34 points and 17 rebounds. Julius Randle screaming every time he grabbed the rebound, said he didn't like the way he's been rebounding this year. I think he's averaging about 8.5 rebounds per game. He expects himself to be in double-digit rebounds. So last night, he grabbed them. So maybe we should expect Julius Randle to grab more boards in the coming games and be in double digits in rebounds because he's focusing on that area right now. The Knicks need to win those rebounding battles. They have rebounders. You got to win the rebounding battle. There's been some games that the Knicks did not win those rebounding battles and they lost, especially down the stretch. The Knicks can rebound down the stretch, play defense down the stretch, get those stops, then get the rebound. They put themselves in a chance to win those basketball games, and they lost some close ones. Like I said earlier, Portland, Memphis, Milwaukee. You get it done defensively, you win those basketball games. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks have won 2 in a row at home. Home has not been sweet for the New York Knicks in recent years. Last night, they won versus the Atlanta Hawks. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. They lost to the Dallas Mavericks. They've got to establish dominance at home. They're still 1 game below 500 at home. They're 500 on the road, 1 game below 500 at the Garden. But the desperation, the energy, the defense, the rebounding that they did in the last 2 games, if they do that every single night at the Garden, the crowd will be behind them. So they'll get the energy and the love from the fans. They won't have to worry about boos. They'll get the energy and the love, and they'll be able to win some basketball games, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your time. It's been a short and quick one with my 5 takeaways over the last 2 games. I want to hear what you're thinking, how you feel about the last 2 games. Put them in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks play the Charlotte Hornets on Friday, and I'll catch you. Well, that's tomorrow. And I'll catch you on the post-game show, folks. Or the pregame, the game preview. Listen, I'm doing this live. Very little editing to this, so, it is what it is. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you tomorrow on the game preview. Then the post-game show after the game. I'm out of here. Peace.
This is NBK. Nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.